As we continue the series in the long anticipation for the 40th anniversary of WrestleMania, up next is Wrestlemania 19. It took place on March 30, 2003 at Safeco Field, Seattle in front of 54,097 fans with a $2.76 million gate and a 560,000 pay-per-view buy. Hosted by Michael Cole, Taz, Jim Ross, and Jerry Lawler. This WrestleMania is the first under the WWE brand, the first under the Ruthless Aggression era, and the first to be part of the brand extension between Raw and Smackdown. It would mark the last WrestleMania match for Hulk Hogan, and the last match for Stone Cold Steve Austin till WrestleMania 38. In the main event for Smackdown, Brock Lesnar took on WWE Champion Kurt Angle. For Raw, Booker T took on the World Heavyweight Champion Triple H. Stone Cold Steve Austin would take on The Rock, and Hulk Hogan would take on Mr. McMahon in a retirement match for Hogan. While the event seemed solid and got good ratings from critics, the pay-per-view buy rate was the worst of the new millennium for a WrestleMania. What we attempt to do is remake the event to make it stronger and worthy enough of a bigger pay-per-view buy. Raw Intercontinental Championship Tournament Finals. Over the last several weeks, the WWE decided on reviving the Intercontinental Championship on Raw after it was unified with the World Heavyweight title in 2002. Rob Van Dam would win the title after defeating Ric Flair in the finals at WrestleMania. Los Guerreros, Eddie and Chavo, C. versus Chief Morley and Lance Storm, C. in a tag team match. Los Guerreros would win the WWE tag titles from Team Angle at No Way Out, giving them a run with the championship, while Morley and Storm hold onto the World Tag Team titles. Eddie and Chavo decide to invade Raw to check out the tag talent and laugh at Morley and Storm, taunting them whenever they get a chance and even buying tickets at Raw shows. This leads to a feud between both tag title holders. While both titles won't be on the line, the WWE agrees to allow a cross-brand match between both sides after a petition by Morley and Storm, and the Los Guerreros win by cheating their way to a win and declaring themselves the superior tag team in WWE. Victoria, C. versus Jazz versus Trish Stratus in a triple threat for the WWE Women's Championship. We would leave the match as is with Trish Stratus winning the title for a fourth time. Smackdown United States Championship Tournament Final. Stephanie decides to disband the Cruiserweight division and revive the United States Championship for SmackDown with a tournament that would be held for the several weeks leading to WrestleMania. Matt Hardy was given a bye in the tournament since he had to give up the Cruiserweight title and managed to make it to the finals to face Rey Mysterio. Hardy was able to win with the twist of fate. Shawn Michaels vs. The Rock in a singles match. Despite The Rock having real-life issues with Shawn, we would add it in as part of the storyline lead-up between the two, with The Rock blaming Shawn for pushing his career back a few years and insulting his family, even though The Rock is the heel. At No Way Out, Vince McMahon screws Hulk Hogan as The Rock would have the sharpshooter on, and Vince forcibly rings the bell even as Hogan did not submit. Vince demands The Rock destroy Hogan, and he starts to assault him viciously till Shawn, who has had enough, rushes into the ring and cleans house. At WrestleMania, they perform at their best, with Shawn going for the superkick only for The Rock to counter with two rock bottoms and win the match. Hulk Hogan vs. Kane in a retirement mask match. Vince here hires Kane, who turns heel as his final plan to finish Hulkamania once and for all. Kane gets traded to SmackDown and starts to play mind games, burning Hulk merchandise and haunting him every week. Hulk admits he is afraid and says he doesn't want to face Kane. This forces Kane to chokeslam a fan, wearing a Hulk Still Rules shirt. Hulk accepts a match and demands that Kane has to unmask if he loses. This gives Vince the opportunity to retire Hulk if Hulk loses. Despite Kane dominating most of the match, Hulk gets in the three-punch, big boot, but misses the leg drop for Kane to land a big chokeslam for the three. Hogan retires on the mic and says his farewell. A week later, Mr. America signs with Stephanie McMahon and manages to defeat Kane at Backlash in a mask versus mask match, forcing Kane to take off his mask for the first time. Stone Cold Steve Austin vs. The Undertaker in a singles match. After Austin beats Bischoff at No Way Out, Bischoff fires him from Raw, leading to Austin and Stephanie having talks over being signed over to SmackDown. Austin arrives to the arena to sign a contract with Stephanie on SmackDown. The Undertaker suddenly attacks Austin under the motivation that he wants to send Austin back to Raw or in a casket. Taker says Austin is washed up, a broken shell of a man who was once the greatest WWE superstar in history. Austin says he doesn't give a damn and wants to do what he does best, and that is beat up anyone who gets in his way, and that he will sign to Smackdown whether Taker likes it or not. This leads to their confrontation at WrestleMania, with the WWE acknowledging Taker's streak and Taker triumphing with 3 chokeslams on Austin for the win. Triple H, C. versus Booker T versus Scott Steiner in a triple threat for the World Heavyweight Championship. Instead of a rematch at No Way Out between Hunter and Steiner, both Booker T and Steiner wrestle for a title shot at that event till they are both counted out, forcing Bischoff to make it a triple threat at WrestleMania. Even with the racist undertone going in against Booker, a triple threat could work with Steiner, who was limited in the ring due to a bad foot. For the finish, Scott ends up in the pedigree, but Booker manages to get in a scissors kick off the ropes right as Triple H had gotten up, giving him the pin and win to become the 6-time World Heavyweight Champion. Triple H, however, would win it back at Backlash in a one-on-one match with Booker. Team Angle, Kurt Angle, Shelton Benjamin and Charlie Haas, versus Brock Lesnar, Big Show and a Train in a 6-man tag match. Brock and Angle continue in their feud, though without it being about the WWE title. Brock enlists the help of Big Show and a Train to assist him, and leading to a 6-man tag at WrestleMania. Brock Lesnar's team would triumph after Brock lands an F5 to Angle for the win. Chris Benoit, C. versus Chris Jericho for the WWE Championship in a 2 out of 3 falls match. Chris Benoit would actually win the WWF title at the Royal Rumble in his match with Kurt Angle by making him submit. Meanwhile, Jericho won the Royal Rumble instead of Brock and was then traded with Kane to be on Smackdown. This leads to a heated feud between Benoit and Jericho, to the point that it was made into a 2 out of 3 falls match between the two. Jericho would win the first fall with the Lionsault. Benoit would win the second fall with Crippler Crossface. However, Jericho would manage to use an old-school brass knuckles punch to Benoit to get in a cheap pinfall, and giving Jericho another run with the title and a lot of heat. As Jericho laughs it off on the mic to the fans, suddenly Goldberg makes a shocking return, instead of on Raw, as he runs in and utterly destroys Jericho to a big pop to end WrestleMania. This leads to a feud between Goldberg and Jericho, as Goldberg wins the WWE Championship at Backlash and gets a run with the title. What did you think of this alternate WrestleMania? Stay tuned for WrestleMania 20. Comment, like, subscribe, and thank you for watching In the Plot.